Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor and best-selling author, and we are here to talk about the stock market. The market didn't have the best day today. Let's just be honest. All right, it wasn't fun. We haven't really seen too many days like this in recent memory. Recent memory being like 3 weeks, but people have a short memory when it comes to the stock market. And when the market is down, people say things they shouldn't really be saying. They do things they really shouldn't be doing. And I want to give you the 3 things that you should learn about yourself. 3 things you should really learn and know about yourself when the market is down, because it can help you to save a lot of money and become a much better investor when you know these 3 things. So, got my notes here on a piece of paper, written terribly, but there are 3 really quick things that you need to know. So I'll run them off. I'll give you some examples of what's happened in my investing life and what I've seen in the market and how I've been able to help people to coach them through these difficult times, even though it's only been a day, right? But we don't know how long this could last. So first, why was the market down? We have a new COVID variant. It's been around for a while, but it's a Delta variant, highly contagious, more contagious than the one we were previously used to around this time last year. Tokyo today, which is where the Olympics will be played or held rather, they said, look, we're not having any spectators. So you were planning to go to the games, which I wanted to do, but clearly, I said that when I was, in my 20s. Never really got around the financial goal, but I will one day. But anyway, I couldn't have gone anyway if I wanted to go. So they said no participants because of the COVID variant, and now the market's, oh my God, things are bad. Market drops today. That's essentially what happened. That doesn't really mean much or shouldn't mean much in the grand scheme of things. The reason I say that is because the Olympics was canceled last year, and the market from last year to now, right, from this time last year, 365 days, the market's up 38%. Even though all that stuff happened, even though the games were postponed, right? So you're going to be all right as an investor. The games are still going to happen, at least for now. But even if they didn't, I wouldn't panic as an investor. So let's go ahead and get into it. Here are 3 things that you need to know that will help you to stay calm, and 3 things you need to learn right now. And it really comes out. It really presents itself when the market is down. When the market is fine, nobody thinks about this stuff. But when it's down, it really comes out. So these are 3 things you need to know. Number 1 is process/planning. You need to have a process. You need to have a plan. If you do not, you will react to things improperly. Okay, so for example, and I bring up Amazon because someone brought up Amazon early on public, and they're like, oh my God, the market's down. I'm selling out of this. I don't want it anymore. And some of the people in the comments are going back and forth, like, how long have you held it? Like, I bought it yesterday. Okay, you lost money in a day. That ain't nothing, right? Because you don't have a plan, you didn't know what price you were going to get into Amazon. You didn't have a plan or a process to say, I'm going to hold Amazon for an entire year, and then I'm going to make a decision. You don't have that stuff. You just do whatever the wind tells you to do. And that's not a profitable strategy. You're doing whatever your emotions tell you to do. The emotion right now is fear. That's not going to help you. Okay, so you have to sit down and have a process and have a plan. Everybody's process is different. Everybody's plan is different. Now, I have 3 different types of processes depending on what I'm trying to do. We talked about what I do primarily on public, where I'm a momentum investor. I buy, I hold for 6 months, I reevaluate. I hold for another 6 months, and I reevaluate. That doesn't always mean sell. It doesn't always mean sell, but it could, right? So if I bought Amazon yesterday, or the new stocks that I bought, Ford being one of them, Capital One being another, I ain't worried about it. I've been in it for 7 days. I don't care. You come talk to me 6 months from now, and then we'll have a discussion on whether we should keep them or whether we should get rid of them, right? But that's one of my processes. Another process, as an indexed investor, someone who primarily invests in index funds, I buy an index fund and leave it alone. It's a boring process, but it's one that's really, really effective, right? So what happens in the day don't matter. It's an index fund. I'm going to keep buying them and keep holding, right? These are plans and processes that I have that I don't care what happens tomorrow, right? Today is Thursday night. I don't care what happens tomorrow. I'm a DCA like I do every single Friday, because that's the process, that's the plan. If you don't have one, you need to get one. Okay, get one that fits you. You can use one of the ones that I use. I got free courses and stuff to teach you all that kind of stuff, or you can go follow somebody else's. Okay, there are dozens of plans and processes and strategies out there. You need one. If you don't have one, you end up buying and selling whatever you see on Wall Street bets. You end up buying and selling whatever you see on TV, and those don't work for you because you don't understand what that company is or what's going on and how to react to it. Okay. All right, that was number one. I kind of went on a rant. I apologize for that rant. Make sure I'm not missing a text, and I'm not an important one anyway. So number two is understanding. You have to understand what you invest in. Okay, that's why when we talked about the top five stocks for beginning investors or new investors rather, I gave you stocks that I think everybody can understand and really cling on to. So when I go back and I talk about an Amazon, if I invest in Amazon, I know what Amazon does. Japan decides they're not going to have spectators, the market drops, and I sell Amazon. That doesn't make sense. What's that got to do with Amazon? Is Amazon a terrible company now because the Olympics isn't going to happen in the way you thought it was? No, it's not. Right? They're switching over CEOs. Okay, but that's not why it fell today. That's not why the entire stock market fell today. It fell because of the Olympics, because of the new COVID variant. Thing is though, we had COVID last year, right? And between over the past year, Amazon's still up 24%. That ain't nothing for me to panic over, right? I own Ford, right? I just got into Ford, but I own Ford. Okay, Olympics can be canceled. That don't mean nothing for Ford because I understand the company, right? I know what they are going through. I know their issues. I know their CEO, who I like right now. There's nothing, when I understand the company, I don't need to, but panicking doesn't do me any good. Now, if you don't understand the company and you just invested in it because you don't have a process, or you just invested in it because you saw somebody else do it, then you might panic because you don't understand what's going on. So if you don't understand, there's a way to do that. Okay, so I'm not going to just shame you and say, ooh, do better. You can go, whether it's on Public or any other investing app, when you click on the stock, you should be able to scroll down. There should be some recent articles on what you can read and say like, oh, I have a better understanding. You can read opinions about what people think about the stock. You can read about what the company does. You can also always go to the company's website. They almost always have a, the investor relations section, and it'll give you a rundown of everything you need to know about that particular company. That can help you to form that opinion if you don't understand it, but you're already in it. Okay, so you do need to have a good understanding. You don't need to be an expert in that space, but you do need to understand what's going on so that you can make better decisions and you can be more calm when the market is down. I don't have anything that is going to be affected by, I wouldn't say not by COVID, but I don't have anything that's going to be impacted by the Olympics being, what's the word I'm looking for, rearranged. Even if it were canceled, none of my companies are going to be overly exposed there. Now, if I was in the travel industry, I'd be looking a little strange today, but it's because I understand the travel industry. I also don't own any travel stocks. Look at that. It's having to work out that way, right? So anyway, you got to understand what you're investing in. You got to have a plan. You got to have a process. When it comes to those two things together, that plan and that process, as well as understanding, if I'm working backwards here, if I have a plan, I have a process, and understand the company. Let's say I was looking at Southwest Airlines. Let's say I was looking at Expedia. Then I would have a price in which I'm going to exit. Or I would have a stop loss where I'm saying, look, I understand what's going on, but if it hits this level, if it hits this price, I need to exit. Because things are really, really bad now because of a new variant. Because I understand the travel industry to a degree is why I didn't invest in Airbnb. That's not a place that I think is safe yet for me because I understand the business and the way I have my plan and my process, it just doesn't fit with me. So I don't have to worry about whether people are traveling or whether people are not traveling. It's over there. I'll worry about it when I get to it because it's not my plan, it's not my process, and I understand the things that I'm investing in, and everything that's not in that competency circle, I can leave over there. That's totally fine. Okay, so planning and process, understanding. I put planning and process in one thing because they're kind of the same. Understanding number two, and the last one's perspective. When the market is down, you should learn perspective if you have not already, or you should remind yourself of perspective. And when I mean perspective, I say take a step back. Okay, so today was a bad day. And save this video and replay it any time that you may need it. Today was a bad day. It could be a bad week. It could be a bad month. It could be a bad 90 days, right? Because that's pretty much what happened last year. It was a bad 45 days. The market sharply dipped, and then things were fine after that. But nobody remembers that because it was 2020 and we have a very short memory. But that's exactly what happened. About 45 days when COVID really hit, the market tanked and then almost immediately bounced up after that. And we've been fine since. That aside though, right? That aside, you got to be able to take a step back. So for example, if I look at Ford today was down 1.19%. In the last week, let me pull this up, last 5 days, you guys can't see it, I'm looking at here on my screen here. Last 5 days, Ford is down, 5.6%. I just invested in Ford about 7 days ago. So by the time I got it, it's been down 5%. Now, I am not concerned about that because I have perspective, I have understanding, and I have a plan. I have all three of those things. Perspective says, last 6 months, well, I take a step back, I'm not worried about these 5 days, I take a step back, Ford is up 55%. If I take one more step back and say over the past year, Ford is up 129%. I do not care about the past 5 days. I'm not overly concerned about the past 5 days. Do I like it? No, but it's not gonna get me out of character, right? It's perspective. Let it go. Let it run for a little bit, and then you can make a decision. When am I going to make the decision? My plan and my process is to make a decision in December. So I will do that in December. Until then, I'm gonna let the stock do what it does, and I think it'll continue to go up. I hope it continues to go up. If it doesn't, come December, then we make that decision. But that's because I have a plan. I also understand what Ford is doing. Ford is trying to push out more electric vehicles. I also understand that there's a chip shortage, the little chips that help you with your backup camera and it tell you that you need oil change, all that kind of stuff. There's a shortage, but that shortage is lessening or not being so big of a shortage. Not sure how to word that, but you got to get the point. The shortage is not going to last forever, and when it is finally gone, Ford is going to be able to push out more vehicles and sell more stuff. That helps me, but it's because I understand that I'm not panicking. It's because I have perspective and I can take a step back that I'm not panicking. It's because I have a plan that I'm not panicking. So that's what keeps me calm when the market is down. I don't know that by the time you watch this video that the market is going to be better or worse. I don't know if the market can fall for another 50 days straight after this video. Don't know, but I know I have perspective. I know I understand what I invest in. I know I have a plan. So you're going to be fine in either case when you have those three. When you don't have those three, you start selling stuff, you start complaining, you get mad at the administration, you get mad at any government entity or anybody who's doing anything because you didn't have those things in advance. So if you don't have those, go get those right now. Go right now and go get those. So go on your company's website, look up investor relations, read what you can read to understand the company if you haven't already. Check out my page and companies that I've talked about so you can get a little bit more understanding there. We talked about Amazon, we talked about Microsoft, and a bunch of other companies, right? I talked about the top 5 companies that I like for new investors. You might want to start there. Do what you do and get your process however you want to get it. But those are the things that you should learn and you should know anytime the market is down. You should have them at all times, but that's when it's most important. Because anybody can sit here and invest in stuff when the market is up. Y'all had a whole lot of stock market experts who had never invested before up until last year when everything was fine, right? This is where those lessons and those basics and those fundamentals really play when it ain't so fun to invest, which is one of those days. So just wanted to give you those tidbits and help y'all out. Lastly, last tip, make sure you click the link below. I'm teaching you guys how to build a 6-figure investing plan. That's all free, buildingbread.com/free class. People have really loved the free class, which I enjoy. So keep sending in those comments and those thoughts. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button. And that's about it. We're already at 630 some odd followers. We've been growing pretty quickly on YouTube. I want to try to get to 1,000 in the next few weeks. So click that subscribe button. Help your boy out. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.